right. Let's see. Stunt here. Good evening, folks, and welcome to Newton, Iowa at the Iowa Speedway, a 1 mile oval. That is the scene of the crime here tonight for the Crooked Line Racing Series. We are doing a special event for the holidays because you know what? When you're on holiday from your racing season, what do you go and do? You go racing. That's what we do. We're going to be doing a 200 lap race here tonight at the 1 mile oval, and let's give you a little bit more information here. That we are racing under the lights. 75 degrees Fahrenheit is the temperature, 55% relative humidity, cloudy sky, 2-mile-an-hour winds. We have a track temperature of only 77 degrees Fahrenheit, which is really not very much, and that should make for pretty good conditions to race in. The drivers are going to be using a fixed setup, which means that they all are basically in the same exact machine. The setup was provided by Makoni Setup Shop, and the race is co-sponsored by Five Kings Motorsports. This special event is set up together with Crooked Line Racing and Five Kings Motorsports. So let's see a little bit about what's going on here in practice, folks. It looks like we have 18 people entering this race at this point. The registration, I believe, is still open until qualifying ends. We have Jason Tarasenko on the top of the timesheets there with a 23.631. He is doing pretty good. He is currently not on track. We have Timothy Trowbridge, our modified successful racer, is joining us here in the super late models. We've seen him before, and it looks like he is getting interested in both of these championships. Timothy's doing a really good job. He's worked his way into the top 10 as far as qualifying is concerned. I believe we have a new name among us, Tyler Shattuck. I don't remember seeing him before. We're welcoming him along, and hopefully he will stick around with the Crooked Line Racing Series in the new year, and hope he has a lot of fun with us. Trevor Edwards is with us here as well in the number 32 machine. And let's see, we have Caitlin Dalton, Brad Ringer is here, Brian Bianchi in the number 15 machine, Lance Anthony and Trevor Vogel. It looks like Trevor Vogel's having a little bit of an issue here. And Lance Anthony in the number 33 machine. Let's see, we have our regular drivers, obviously, Bruno Pierre Pinchot, Scotty Stevens, Ryan Woolbright, Jason Tarasenko, Tanner Marr, Rex Hoyle, Chris Pittman, Joshua Sexton. So we have a pretty good sized field here tonight, and we are taking away the final moments of the practice session. It looks like Tyler is having a little bit of an issue here. Let's go and see what happened to him. Ooh, a little loose off of turn number 4 there. And I've been watching the practice for a little bit. Don't see too much trouble for these drivers. It looks like the track is in pretty good state, and haven't seen too many crashes or spins coming off the turns. But obviously, they're trying to find out where the limits are, and when you want to find out where the limits are, you sometimes go over them, and that's the best way to figure out where they are, to be honest with you. And in a simulator, you do have the advantage that you don't feel any G-forces when you hit that wall. Tyler Shattuck in the number 37 car, as said. I think he's a new driver in the series, and that is always good to see. We welcome that. Tyler is running pretty good here. He is only 27 thousandths of a second slower than the leading driver, Tarasenko, so he is already making a name for himself here, and we hope he has a lot of fun. Let's see, we have Justin Carey in the number 42 machine out on track here as the final moments of the practice are ticking away. We're going to go into qualifying. We'll be doing 2 laps for the drivers. Then we'll try and talk to some of the drivers before we go to the feature. And as said, folks, the feature race is going to be 200 laps, so it's a fairly lengthy race here. This is actually one of the bigger tracks that these guys race on, 1 mile ovals. A lot of the times they run on the very short ovals, the half mile ovals, and so this is going to be a high speed event for these guys. And let's see, we have one fast repair at our disposal for the race, and they only get 4 tire sets in total to work with for the race. All right, folks, it looks like we're getting ready to go into qualifying at this point. And we'll be seeing, let's see if we can pick up anybody that is on track. I believe we have Ryan Woolbright in the number 40 machine being the first one out on track here, trying to get himself a qualifying time in. 2 laps to go. They have to be clean. They cannot brush the wall. They cannot spin around. They cannot cut the track or anything. They have to be clean laps in order for iRacing to allow the time. So let's stay here with Ryan Woolbright for just a little bit and see what his first attempt is going to give him. On the backstretch, coming down to turn number 3 and into turn number 4, coming onto the main straightaway, and he almost loses it, but he catches it beautifully, and I do believe that time will be allowed because he did not go off track or into the wall. 24.330 is obviously not the quickest time he could have imagined, but he had a beautiful save there. Currently quickest is Brad Ringer in the 76 machine. Trevor Edwards is following in second. Rex Hoyle in third. Then we see Ryan Woolbright, and he has posted his second time there, 24.051, and it is not good enough probably to stay in the top 10. And it looks like we had Caitlin Dalton bringing it in. Let me see if we can find Caitlin. There has been an issue with that driver, but I can't find it. Nope, that is still in that is still in practice. Can't find what's going on. Tyler Shattuck, folks, puts it on the provisional pole with a 23.650. That is an amazing lap time. I believe he's not the only one going underneath the 24 seconds. Actually, the first 15 drivers did so that is pretty strong. Let's see, we still have Pittman on the track here in the number 14 car just finishing up, and there we have Trevor Vogel in the number 13 car posting his first lap time, and that puts Vogel in the 17th position. We still are waiting for Trowbridge to come around and play. There he is. Is running a 23.985. And believe it or not, that is only good enough for the 16th position. So let's see here. We have Trevor Vogel and Trowbridge. Trevor pushes himself into 14th with a 23.916. And let's see, the final lap for Trowbridge pushes him up into 12th position. That is a 23.881, so very good job there for Timothy Trowbridge. And let's see, we have a provisional pole driver. That will be Tyler Shattuck, and Trevor Edwards in second, and Chris Pittman in third. And we will also probably talk really quickly with Tanner Marr, our pit reporter on Tuesday nights. Tanner is racing himself. Tanner, you've qualified yourself in 8th position there. I'm understanding you are part of the organization of this special event. Is there a special cause or goal or special event? How do you say that? A charity or anything attached to this race? Oops. Can you hear me, Tanner? This is Mark in the booth.
Yes, sir, Mark. Got you loud and clear. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty well. It looks like we've had everybody put in a pretty decent time. It looks like only one driver did not bring it underneath that 24-second mark. Tanner, you are qualifying in 8th position. You're running this race yourself, so you're not going to be joining me in the booth here all night long. But tell us a little bit about what brought about this race here. Is there any special occasion other than just the holidays? You guys are taking a break from your regular season, and what do you do when you take a break? You go racing.
Yeah, Mark. Well, when we made this schedule out, we put 2 to 3 weeks off for Christmas holidays, and me and Sexton, we were going to use this time just to kind of get away from racing, kind of unwind, shut down from racing a little bit. And after about 3 days of that, we realized, man, this is pretty boring. So before we knew it, I was making a flyer. I reached out to Maconi Setup Shop, see if they could throw us together a fixed setup. They did, and before you know it, we had a holiday Class 200 at Iowa Speedway, presented by Five Kings Motorsports, and here we are.
Absolutely amazing. Yeah, I mean, most people that are on iRacing and taking a break from iRacing doesn't work very long, does it?
No, sir, and like me and you, we were chatting earlier. It's iRacing can become a full time job if you let it, and between us running 4 different series, being the admins for them, our time is very, very limited. So I don't know what we're thinking putting on these crazy races, but we do it because we have good turnouts. We like the show you put on, and we want everybody to have fun at the end of the day. That's what it's all about.
All right, Tanner, it looks like you guys have given the guys one faster pair and a fixed setup. So, can you quickly explain to us a fixed setup? Do they have anything they can play with when the setup is fixed? What exactly can they do in this car?
So, Mark, pretty much there's two small changes, and I say small. They can be big depending on how you use them. With you being in the road course racing world, I'm sure you're very familiar with the front brake bias. We can change that. We can lower it all the way down to 46%, or we can raise it all the way up to 58%, and then we can do our steering ratio, meaning 10 to 1, 12 to 1, and what that equals to is how much you turn the wheel versus what it turns in real life. So, or what it turns in sim. So that's about all they can really adjust as far as setup wise, and then the rest of it, we're all running identical setups, and it's just down to the driver at this point.
All right, so if I understand correctly, the steering ratio that would be not be something you can alter during the race. Obviously, that is just a matter of preference of the ratio between how much you turn the wheel and how much it makes the front wheels actually move in the left or right direction, right?
Absolutely, it just comes down to preference. It don't change how the car reacts at all. Really, it just comes down to how the driver feels, and then brake bias. We can actually change that in car. So that's something these drivers. I know myself. I'll be changing as the race goes on.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that info. It looks like you guys have limited the fuel to 73%. And is that to make sure that they have to make a pit stop, or is it close, or what do you expect?
So we're going to have a competition caution mark at lap 100, and I can say from my testing right now, we will not make it to lap 100 on this fuel run. We'll go about maybe 60 to 70 laps, depending on how we drive it, and that's going to be about what it is. The setup given to us, it was gave to us at 16 gallons. We did quick little math in our head and put it to 73%, and that equaled what the setup was.
All right. Well, that sounds very interesting. That means we're going to see a little bit more pit work than we normally do during the Crooked Line Monday Madness series. That's all good. We also have a limitation for 4 tire sets, so there's also going to be some tire management involved here. Let's move on really quickly here to the third place driver. That is Chris Pittman. Chris, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Let's talk about real quickly. This is a fixed setup race. What they've given to you. How does it feel, and how is the track tonight?
Track's pretty good tonight. It's definitely a little bit slick before you get some heat in your tires, and the setup is pretty good. I like it. Didn't really make a very long run in practice. I kind of did a lot of short runs because I don't expect a lot of cautions, but I expect a caution about every 30 laps. So the tires hold up pretty good and the setup's fast, so hopefully it'll be good to go.
All right. Do you have any specific strategy in mind that you don't mind sharing with us? Because obviously you don't want to give away all the secrets.
I'm gonna try to, to manage the tires. We got 4 sets, so I mean that's 50 laps a set of tires, or maybe stretch one out and save one for the end. It just depends on how the race plays out. Because we get a long green flag run, then I'll probably try to, tire manage. But if we got quick cautions, then I probably won't manage too hard.
Now, obviously, most of the time, you guys on the short tracks don't really pit all that much, especially not under green. I've seen plenty of guys on the Monday Night Madness that will take it all the way from flag to flag on one set of tires. How do you expect that to compare here tonight? Compared to what you guys normally run, it's a fairly quick track, right?
Oh yes, sir. And during practice, there was a guy out there running. Seemed like a race, pace or whatever. Ran probably about 40 laps, and I came out do a mock Q run, and I absolutely blew past him. So tires are definitely going to come into the race at some point. I don't know if it'll be late in the race or early in the race, but at some point, tires will definitely be a very big factor.
All right, all right. Well, that'll be something for us to watch for then. All right, Chris. I wish you good luck, my friend. Any shout outs you want to do before I let you go to your racing seat, man?
Yeah, my grandparents were watching my dad and my girlfriend. That's about it. Oh, and McConey setup shops. They made the setup, and Tyler Shattuck for giving us a pretty good piece for tonight.
Now, obviously, with the close family watching, we want to hear your New Year's resolutions as well, sir.
New Year's resolutions? I don't really have any, I guess. Maybe get a little bit faster in the super late models. Last 2 weeks, we've had 2 DNFs. So hopefully next year we'll have a better car and not get wrecked so much.
All right. Good luck, Chris. We'll talk to you later, maybe. All
Thank you
right.
very much.
You bet. Let's move on to Trevor Edwards. Trevor, same question for you. How does the track feel to you? How do you like the setup?
Oh, I mean, I like it. I think it's gonna be fun. I wish it was a little bit looser, so we had to drive a little bit harder to make it a little bit difficult to pass. But in practice, there it looked like the top was kind of top dominant. So it's gonna be whoever can roll the top. I think best long run.
Now, again, same question to you. You guys are a lot more on the half-mile tracks, and sometimes even shorter than that, which basically means that this track for you guys, compared to what you guys normally do, this is a pretty fast and long track. How does that change your approach to the race?
We've ran here a couple times, open setup cars, and I don't know, usually the first half of the race is kind of about survival and keeping the right front fender on it. Because if you get any kind of aero damage in this car, it can kill you. They will get a little bit aero tight behind cars or aero loose depending on where you're at. So it's just gonna have to manage a little bit of tire and make sure you don't burn it off, and then smack the fence off a four. It's really easy to do here.
I hear you. So basically, what you're saying is that Arrow is playing into this race a little bit more than what we normally would see.
Oh yeah, yeah. You'll see guys get aero tight, maybe a little bit aero loose on short runs, depending on where you put your car behind people. You'll see.
All right, now, right, listening to you, kind of already talked about this, but your strategy for the race, it's obviously going to be a lot about survival this first half. What are you expecting from the rest of the field?
I don't know. I'm gonna go like hell and try to push Tyler as hard as I can, just for some fun for the first half of the race, and then we'll see where we're at the last 100.
All right, that sounds like a pretty good plan. Obviously, I'm going to ask you the same thing. Any New Year's resolutions that you want to share with us?
Not much, man. It's 2020's been a pretty bad year for a lot of people. I haven't had. It hasn't been too bad to me. So, just I guess my New Year's resolution is to make this year or next year a little bit better than this one.
I guess that you can't go wrong by saying that, obviously, and for sure, we all know that the past year has not been one of our best in this country and all around the world. But at least we can keep on racing and keep on doing what we love the most. So, Trevor, I wish you good luck. Any shout outs you want to do before I let you go to your car?
Got to thank McConey Setup Shop, Tyler for building the setup, Glasser's Collision, and Platinum Speedworks for all the speed.
Thank you very much, Trevor. And let's move on there to Tyler Shattuck. Tyler, you may correct me if I'm wrong, but you're kind of a newcomer to the Crooked Line Monday Night Madness, aren't you?
Yes, sir. First show.
First show here, and you put it on the pole position. Then it obviously leads to the question, what is the secret here, Tyler?
I don't know that there was much of a secret. I barely squeaked it by Trevor. Got to get her wound up there first lap or so, and then just hit your marks.
And how do you feel about? Are you familiar with the fixed setup idea, and how do you like it?
A lot of the leagues that I've been in are fixed setup. Run mostly open setup stuff on the iRacing service, but I think the fixed setup stuff is a lot of fun to break up the monotonous testing.
Do you think it brings the racers closer in competition, or is that really not that big of a factor?
I think it does. I think setups kind of cater to different driving styles, and I think you'll find the fast guys always find a way to the front. They'll figure out how to drive the car, regardless if it's tight or loose.
Absolutely. So you kind of spotted on that already a little bit. Setups can be very personal thing. So obviously that kind of means that personal thing is kind of left out here, and you got to just deal with what you got. My experience is also that the faster guys normally they're fast regardless of what it is. But how did you feel about the track tonight? Did it feel okay to you?
Yeah, track felt real good. I think it's going to put on a good show for everybody that's watching.
All right, so I talked a little bit to Tyler about the things you can do yourself. So basically, during the race, the only thing you can change is the brake bias. Can you explain to the viewers a little bit about why you would change that brake bias, and in what conditions you would change it to what?
I think again that's going to be a driver preference on when they do it, but if the car's a little tight or a little too snug getting into the corner, you can take some brake bias out of it, move the brake bias back, and free the car up. I don't know how it's going to work at this track. I know a lot of the short track stuff that we do, we kind of add brake bias every once in a while to get the nose planted down more, even if it's tight. Try to get the little bit of aero that we do have to suck the nose down and help the car rotate. But again, I don't know how it's going to do on this bigger, faster track.
So obviously, you guys you're not full on the brakes on these turns. You just kind of how do you say that? You kind of just edge on the brake a little bit. So is the difference big between moving it forward and backward? Is it very noticeable immediately?
I'd say yeah. I'd say within the first corner you do it. I mean, sometimes depending on who you are, you might change it down the back straightaway going into turn three to get a different result for that corner than you do in turn one, and then change it back going down the front straightaway for turn one.
I see. So you might even do it twice a lap then.
Yeah, I mean if it comes to it.
All right. Well, Tyler, thank you very much for that explanation. And same question to you as well. New Year's resolutions. I'm sure there's people watching and listening to you that want to know.
I don't know that I got any. Really try and just make 2021 more successful here in the sim world and help out more people here.
All right. Well, that sounds like a great plan. Any shout outs you want to do before I let you go back to your car, sir?
Yeah. Tanner and all the guys for putting on this show. You for broadcasting, and eSpeed Sport for coming on board the car. Maconi Setup Shop for all that Jeff over there has done, helped me out, and everything he does for the community. And then Platinum Speedworks.
All right. Thank you very much, Tyler. I wish you good luck, my friend. The pole position is a great entrance in the series. So hopefully we'll be able to talk to you at the end of the race, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
You betcha. All right, Tanner, there you have a little bit of information on the first three drivers. Obviously, you're in the top 10 there in the 8th position. You're going to be trying to work your way forward. Any New Year's resolutions from the racing series that we need to know about?
Yeah, just to be better than I was this year. We all need to strive to improve every day. So that's what we're looking for. I'm hoping to put on a good show, Mark, for not only you but the viewers. And big thanks to Five Kings Motorsports, MF Racing Designs, and McConey Setup Shop, and Tyler for throwing together the set for us. Thank you guys.
All right, Tanner, I wish you good luck, my friend. Go back down to your car because we're getting pretty close to the moment of, to the moment supreme, as they would say in Europe, the moment of lining them up there in pit road.
10-4, buddy. Maybe we'll be here at the end talking to you at the end.
All right. Thank you very much, Tanner. All right, folks, there you see it. We are getting ready to line them up here on the pit road. We are going to show you the grid here real quick. And as said, we have Tyler Shattuck, a new driver on pole position. Good entrance for him. Trevor Edwards it will be alongside him. Then it's going to be Christian Pittman and Caitlin Dalton on the second row. Joshua Sexton, Rex Hoyle on the third row. Fourth row is going to be for Brad Ringer and Tanner Marr. Fifth row for Scotty Stevens and Brian Bianchi. Sixth row for Jason Tarasenko and Timothy Trowbridge. Then on the seventh row, we have Steve Sexton, the dad of Joshua. And then we have alongside him Justin Carey. On the eighth row, we have Trevor Vogel and Bruno Pierre Penchot. Then on the ninth row, we have Lance Anthony and Ryan Woolbright. And on the 10th row, we have Tyler Johnson and Sean Woodside. So it looks like we had some last-minute entries there. We went from 18 to 20 drivers ready on the grid here, and they are all set to go. We are awaiting the moving of the pace car. There you're looking at the number 37 new driver, Tyler Shattuck. We wish him the best of luck, and we hope he comes back. We enjoy this racing series a lot, and we can always use some new faces here. All right, there we are. We are moving, and we're getting ready for 200 laps here at Iowa Speedway. As said, fixed setup, one fast repair only. 4 tire sets in total, and if we need them, we have 3 green-white checkers to settle this thing. So there you have it, folks. And you heard Tanner explain to us before the race here that at lap 100, we will be doing a competition caution. And it looks like the fuel window is right around 75 or so laps. So that means that we will be seeing some pit stops during the race. Looks like we're doing 2 warm-up laps here at the 1 mile track. Tyler is there on the inside with Trevor Edwards alongside him on the outside. On the second row, we have Pittman and Dalton, and on the third row, Sexton Jr. and Rex Hoyle. Nice big field here, 20 cars on the grid, under the lights here in Iowa, right between the cornfields. Track is being used by NASCAR and IndyCar, very popular track. Always makes for some pretty good racing. So hopefully we're going to see some good action here tonight. Looks like the field is closing up there now. Pace car will be coming in. There you go. They'll be waiting for the call on the radio.
Green flag, green flag.
And there we have it, folks. The special event for the Crooked Line Racing Monday Night Madness is underway. We are racing just for the heck of it. Trevor Edwards on the outside seems to be picking up that lead already. And it looks like Tyler Shattuck is slotting in there in second place with Pittman coming down underneath him, trying to go for that second position. And it looks like that bottom line on the cold tires is working fairly well at this point. Joshua Sexton is in 4th position. There you have Trevor Edwards running that second line there. And he is already pulling away a little bit. It looks like, well, they're slotting in. It's about no more than a car length here. Tyler Shattuck is holding on to that 2nd position with Chris Pittman coming down underneath him. Not quite close enough to make anything happen there. Tanner Marr has picked up a position from the start. He is now in 7th. Rex Hoyle is down 2 positions in that number 12 machine. And it looks like Jason Tarasenko had a pretty good start there as well. He is up 2 positions. Justin Carey up 3 positions. Bruno Pinchot is up 4 positions. Looks like Tyler Shattuck is actually running the fastest lap of the race at this point with a 23.77. But he is still looking at the back end of Trevor Edwards, and it looks like Trevor Vogel has taken that honor away from him with a 23.76. Trevor is running in 16th position, but that doesn't mean that he's not quick enough. That tells you also, folks, how close this field is knit together. At this point, we have all drivers underneath the 24-second mark except for one, and that is Tyler Johnson. Tyler looks like he has scraped the wall already on the start, and it looks like he is having a little bit of trouble here. Trevor Edwards is still your leader. Tyler Shattuck now on the higher side. Pittman seems to be a little bit more comfortable on the lower side, but he can't quite make it work. You can see the different lines the drivers are using. As said before the race, it looked like some of them were expecting that higher line to work well, but right now they're not really up there yet. Coming off the turns, very careful not to slide into the wall. Obviously, the aero on a track like this is definitely going to be a factor. Joshua Sexton there in that number 51 car hanging on to 4th position. It looks like Caitlin Dalton. He is right behind Sexton, and he is looking to make something happen there. And it looks like Tyler Shattuck is running a much wider line than Pittman. Pittman seems to be unable to come underneath that 37 machine, but not for lack of trying. Especially coming off the turn, it looks like that 37 washes up a little bit higher to the wall at an earlier point than the number 14 does. Let's ride along here really quickly with Chris Pittman here. And as you can see from the movements of the driver's hands, that tells you that they have to work that car a little bit here. Track is a little bit bumpy on the mid-turn there. And it kind of appears to me that everybody is just trying to get settled in here in the race, trying to just kind of take it easy. Oops, wrong camera standpoint. That's what I was looking for. It looks like everybody is just trying to get settled in here. It is early in the race, obviously, and nobody wants to use that fast repair for no good reason. Let's take a look further down the field. It looks like Joshua Sexton is hanging on to 4th. Caitlin Dalton hangs on to 5th. Brad Ringer hangs on to 6th. Tanner Marr is still in 7th position. Comes off the turn a little bit wider. You can clearly see there's a little bit of difference in the lines that the drivers are choosing to use here. Looks like Pittman is trying to stay a lot lower than Shattuck. But again, it is not a matter of just putting that car underneath there. Ooh, we have a caution. Let's go and try to find out what has happened. It looks like Caitlin Dalton has gotten in trouble. Yeah, he gets a little bit loose there. Turns it upside down. Ooh, the 42 is running in there. That is Justin Carey. That is very unfortunate. Couldn't avoid the wrecking car there. Let's bring that back for you one more time and see exactly what happened to the 51. 51 gets off the turn, gets a little loose in the back end, and then taps the other car. Can't save it and noses it into the wall, and then it looks like Justin Carey just can't avoid the wreckage there. So very, very unfortunate. And this is something that was a little bit unnecessary. With the 51, should have really just waited for the 151 to go by there. That is really not necessary. But okay, that's just my take on stuff, and stuff happens. We are all human, and we all make some mistakes every now and again. So very unfortunate start of the race there for Caitlin Dalton. It looks like Steve Sexton is okay. He is not coming into the pits, and I don't really see any damage on that machine there. Let's see, Trowbridge is on pit road, Woodside is on pit road, Tyler Johnson is getting that car fixed up, hopefully. I'm not seeing a fast repair, but he's probably trying to save that one for later. There is Caitlin Dalton. He is going to his pit stall up front there. He is somewhere in that turn, and I can't really see. It looks like he is taking that fast repair already. And that's what it's for, just to save you from being thrown out of that race this early. And it looks like we have Trevor Edwards and Tyler Shattuck staying out there. Obviously, they don't want to waste their track position. There is not that much reason for them to go in yet. They are going to have to make those tires last a lot longer than this. So, and let's see, we had Trevor. Nope, Trevor was not going into the pits. It kind of looked like he was. But here's Sean Woodside coming into the pits. What I believe, nope, that's his first pit stop. He is actually not been in yet. All the other guys are back on the move again. Caitlin is back out. Tyler Johnson is back out. Didn't really get that damage completely repaired, but maybe at least they had something done to it. It's going to be a long night for Tyler if he can't keep up the speed. He is still the only driver that has not posted a fastest time under the 24-second mark. Lap number 14 of 200, folks. Woodside joining back again. And it looks like all drivers are still on the lead lap. And that kind of shows you also, folks, how close everything is here. Timothy Trowbridge back on pit road. He might actually be trying to, well, with a fuel window of 70 or so laps, I don't think he's going to make it to the competition caution. But let's see what is happening to him here. I think he's just topping it off, or maybe he got a, yeah, he probably just topped it off. Well, if you're in the back, it doesn't really matter if you do or you don't. It might help you further down the road. You don't have any positions to lose when you're in the back, so that could be the thinking there. All right, on the front row, things have reversed from the race start. Trevor Edwards and Tyler Shattuck are still there, but on different positions. And then it's Pittman and Sexton and Ringer and Marr. Marr has worked his way up to 6th thanks to the crash of
Green flag.
of Dalton. And there we go. Trevor Edwards picks up speed quite nicely here. The field following. Tanner Marr on the high side there, trying to pick up a position from Brad Ringer. He is on the high side. And it looks like mid-turn he can get a little bit better momentum here. There's Tyler. He's still not past him, but he is definitely trying to make that momentum on the high side work for him. And then it looks like he gets under the pressure of Jason Tarasenko. And Tarasenko dives in that turn a little bit deeper and takes the position away from him. Up at the front, it is still Trevor Edwards that is leading Tyler Shattuck and Pittman and Sexton in 4th. Brad Ringer hanging on to 5th, and Jason in 6th. Jason Tarasenko, that is. Let's see where Caitlin Dalton is hanging out. He is in 14th position, and he's moving on up. As you can see, he's trying very hard to make up for lost time. Ooh, the Hooters car there. That is Trevor Vogel, the number 13, almost washing into the wall. Woodside coming back to the inside there, also trying to make up for some lost time, obviously. He is, actually, he started in the back of the pack, and he is working his way forward, now in 14th position, behind Caitlin Dalton. And further up at the front, nothing much changing. Tarasenko has good hold of 6th position. Marr is in 7th. Pancho is in 8th, trying to keep in touch with Marr. And then Scotty Stevens in that number 2 machine is leading the second group. They're falling off just a little bit. Ooh, Marr has a little bit of, Scotty Stevens just blimped out of the picture there. Rex Hoyle is behind him in 10th position. Then it's Caitlin Dalton already up to 11th. So Caitlin, he is really working hard here to get his way back to the front. Lap number 21. Look at that. He is underneath Rex Hoyle there. Obviously, this is going to cost him a little bit on tires, but he is probably thinking it is well worth it, and it looks like we have Justin Carey in trouble here. Let's see what happened to him. Ooh, got to bring that a little bit further back here. Ooh, the 13 and the 42 getting together here. That is Justin Carey and Trevor Vogel. Brings out another caution. It does look like both drivers are okay. Justin Carey is running. Trevor Vogel is running. They have just dropped to the end of the pack there, and even at lap 23, they are still on the lead lap, so that is a good thing. And once again, folks, it shows you how close this battling here at Crooked Line Racing really is. We still have everybody on the lead lap, 20 drivers. All right, a little bit of quiet before the storm, as we would say here. I do not see anybody diving down the pit road. Scotty Stevens, yes indeed, Scotty is bringing it in. The number 2 machine, then it's Trowbridge also coming in. Tyler Johnson, obviously he wants some more repairs. Trevor Vogel and Justin Carey, the 2 drivers that were involved in the incident there. Excuse me, both bringing it in. Trowbridge makes it out first. Looks like Tyler Johnson also comes out fairly quickly. Still did not take that fast repair. He's looking to save that for later. Scotty Stevens back out. Justin Carey coming back out. Did not take the fast repair either. And Trevor Vogel, his car looks pretty good. I'm not sure if he took it or not, but he looks pretty good. And that brings us back up at the front of the field here. Once again, folks, Trevor Edwards hanging on to that lead with Tyler Shattuck in 2nd position. Chris Pittman in the 3rd position. We talked to all 3 of them. And the strategy at this point is just a matter of survival and making sure you don't do anything stupid like pushing it into the wall or using up those tires or whatnot. Dalton back up into 9th position again, so he's definitely been going at it. Let's see, Tanner Marr hanging in 7th there. And it looks like Steve Sexton, the father of Joshua, that is running in 4th position in the 151. He is running in 15th position, hanging on there really nicely. Having a lot of fun in this series. He joined us during the season, and he is really enjoying himself. We are always happy to see that. Looks like we're getting lined up again to go back to racing, going into lap number 27 of 200, folks. The lights on the pace car have been turned off, so we're looking at a field of still 20 cars strong, all on the lead lap, and it looks like we are... the final row is there for Justin Carey and Trevor Vogel, the 2 guys involved in the incident that brought out this caution. On the 2nd row behind Edwards and Shattuck, we have Pittman and Sexton, and on the 3rd row we have Ringer and Tarasenko. Pace car's in.
Green flag.
And
green
there we
flag.
go. Trevor has a good start here. He pulls away from Tyler Shattuck a little bit. Looks like Pittman is right there on the bumper of Shattuck. And a 51.
Yellow flag.
Ooh, something has happened on the start here. It looks to me like we had an issue for Rex Hoyle. Let's see what happened. Ooh, Rex Hoyle comes down and touches the 15 of Brian Bianchi, sends him spinning around, and it looks like we have Ryan Woolbridge and Steve Sexton involved there as well. Let's bring that back for you one more time. Little bit different angle, see if we have a better view here. Look at the ATD car here. The number 12 comes down a little bit too far. And the number 40 of Ryan Woolbright has no place to go. Little bit of damage on that number 12 there. The 151 also involved. That is Steve Sexton. Looks like it's not his lucky night. See if any of them are coming down the pits here. It looks like Woolbright and Sexton are headed down pit road. Little bit of a crumbled up front end there on the 151. And let's take a look at Woolbright. Same thing, a little bit of crumbled up front end there. Let's see if he... Yep, there is the fast repair for Woolbright. Let's see what Sexton does. Yep, he takes it as well. So these guys have used up their fast repairs as we speak. And that'll be it for them. Lap number 29. And once again, folks, we want to acknowledge the support of Makoni Setup Shop for giving us a setup for this race, and MF Racing Graphics, one of the sponsors of the series on Tuesday night. They do a lot of good work. As if you want something that to make your car look pretty, give them a shout out. MF Racing Designs. And tonight's special event here is brought to you by Five Kings Motorsports, working together with Crooked Line Racing here to put up a holiday event, 200 laps here in Newton, Iowa. The first 8 drivers in the field, folks, have not yet been in pit road at all. And in the second half of the field, there is only 2 of them that haven't done so. That is Bianchi and Anthony. The rest of them have all been down pit road. Timothy Trowbridge is leading pit road stops there with 3. Obviously, he had some damage on the car that he was trying to get repaired. Let's see what that car looks like at this point. There you have him going to the top line there, the 74. Car looks pretty good. Lights on the pace car have been turned off, folks. That means we're getting ready to go back to racing here. Lap number 32 of 200 will bring us back under the green flag. And let's hope that these guys will have a little bit more luck bringing it around this time. Looks like we're staying single file, actually. 2 yellows short after each other. That'll obviously do that. Keeping it single file. And as you see, the pace car is in. A little bit of a harmonica effect there in the middle of the pack. Trevor Edwards has a great start, pulls away quite a bit here from Shattuck, about a half a second already, and Shattuck does the same thing to Pittman. I'm fairly sure they'll close it back up pretty quickly here. Ringer had a good jump staying with Pittman there, and then it's Tarasenko Joshua Sexton and Tanner Marr that are there side by side. Bruno Pierre Pinchot in that yellow and blue car up top there is picking up some positions. He is now in 6th, and he has pushed Joshua Sexton down to 7th. Tanner Marr is coming around the backside there. It looks like they're double wide. It looks like Sexton has a little bit of trouble on that bottom end there. Tanner Marr has picked up the 7th position again. Tarasenko is currently the quickest driver on the track with a 23.743 as the quickest time in the race. Looks like Trevor Edwards is holding on to that lead here. He is pulling away, actually, 7/10 of a second on Tyler Shattuck. Then it's Pittman that seems to be closing in a little bit, and Brad Ringer hanging with Pittman. Jason Tarasenko, looks like Dalton is challenging Tanner Marr there for 7th position and stealing it away from him. Joshua Sexton seems to be in a little bit of trouble right now. He is dropping off to 9th position. And big winner at this point is Bruno Pierre Pinchot. I apologize, and I stumble on his name a little bit, but I hope I pronounce his last name correctly. Pinchot is running in 6th position right now. Sean Woodside has also moved up quite significantly since the start of the race. He is up 10 positions. He started in last, and he is in 10th position as we speak, holding off Timothy Trowbridge. Ooh, Timothy getting a little bit of a slide on the back end there, a little bit loose. Brian Bianchi is behind him in the number 15 machine. Then it's Justin Carey. Looks like he's picking up the pace again. Tyler Johnson has worked his way forward a little bit. He is in 15th position now, and he is fighting behind Scotty Stevens. He's got Trevor Vogel on his inside there in the number 13 car. Rex Hoyle is in the 12th car here in 17th position. Steve Sexton still running. It looks like Steve's having a little bit of trouble keeping up. His lap times are dropping off significantly. And the same is true for Anthony, and Woolbright seems to be out of the race at this point. Unfortunately, Ryan had too much damage to keep it going. Trevor Edwards still has that 7/10 of a second lead on Tyler Shattuck. We are keeping that pretty constant at this point, so nothing gained, nothing lost at this point. Pittman is in 3rd. Tarasenko and Ringer following there. And then there's a little bit of a gap to Pinchot, and Dalton is challenging Pinchot there for the 6th position. Looks like Tanner Marr is right there in the draft of Dalton. Dalton closing in on Pinchot on the backstretch, trying to get the draft and diving deep into turn number 3, getting that car underneath. Dalton definitely looks like he's got a good run here on the bottom side, but Pinchot has that momentum coming off the turn and still defending his position. The higher side, folks, is a little bit easier on those outside tires because the radius is a little bit wider, and you might think, well, can't be that much of a difference. But it does help. Every little bit helps here, and that is always true for these drivers. And a lot of people will naturally think that the inside is the quickest line on these turns. And as a road racer, staying up high on these ovals is very unnatural to me personally. But it looks like a lot of these NASCAR-style drivers have embraced that, the fact that the higher side sometimes just simply is quicker and easier on the tires. And as you can see here very nicely in your picture, it is Pinchot and Dalton that are demonstrating this. And actually Dalton getting a little loose coming off the turn there because they are simply running a tighter radius. Tanner Marr has picked up 7th position. Obviously, when you're on that inside, you have to be aware of the fact that you have to leave room to the drivers up high of you. And even Trowbridge is now passing Dalton. Dalton drops off to 10th position, so it kind of makes me wonder about how he abused those tires there for a little bit. And he's going to have to slow down a little bit and save them. Ooh, Pinchot looked like he was getting a little loose coming off turn 4. Tarasenko has brought it into 4th position ahead of Brad Ringer. Paincho is still in 6th, and he is walking away from Tanner Marr. It is always true, folks, that if you're fighting with another driver, you basically both lose a little bit of speed. Ooh, Tanner sliding off the turn, but he is holding on to 7th position here. Driving by yourself is always quicker than fighting with somebody else. At least on tracks like this. On a super speedway, it might be a little bit different. Trowbridge and Sexton right behind Tanner Marr, with Dalton catching back up again. Diamond formation on the main straightaway. Dalton coming alongside Sexton there. And once again, it looks like Dalton seems a little bit loose. We got to keep an eye on these guys. We've already seen Dalton get into trouble before, and it looks like he is asking a lot of those tires underneath him. There we have the 33 of Lance Anthony being lapped by the field. He is staying up high. That's good sportsmanship. He's trying to stay out of the way. That is right now the only driver that is being lapped, aside from Woolbright having left the race. Trevor Edwards is still hanging on to that lead. It's shrunk a little bit, but not by much, and it looks like Pittman is putting more and more pressure on Shattuck. Pittman likes the lower line a little bit better than Shattuck, it seems, but it's not really bringing him anything as far as taking the position away. Tarasenko in 4th position there by himself. He's got a good lead on Brad Ringer. He's got a pretty good lead on Paincho. And then it's Tanner Marr in 7th, holding off Trowbridge, Dalton, Sexton, and Woodside. Ooh, we have an incident for Vogel going over the grass. Scotty Stevens appeared to be involved in that as well. There. Ooh, that looked like the 15 of Brian Bianchi got together with Vogel. And I can't really tell what happened to Stevens, but he was also off. Let's see what happened to Stevens. Is the 13 and the 15 get together there. That's Bianchi in the wall. Sexton also over the grass. He loses his connection a little bit here. And I'm really surprised we did not get a yellow flag for this incident. Looks like Bianchi is taking it to pit road, trying to get it fixed. We stayed green out there. Scotty Stevens is still running. He has some connection issues blinking him in and out of the race. Bianchi is back on... No, he's on his way in. Hopefully he can get that machine back on the track again. It looks like he took a faster pair. Trevor Edwards, still your leader. Definitely losing some of that advantage to Tyler Shattuck. At this point, it's down to 0.4 of a second, and Shattuck and Pittman seem to be working towards the leader. You see the 151 of Steve Sexton. He's about to be lapped there. Brian Bianchi, meanwhile, is back out on track. He is running again, so that is good news. Shattuck and Pittman are in 2nd and 3rd position. Tarasenko is hanging on to 4th still. Let's keep an eye on Shattuck and Pittman here. They're fighting for that 2nd position while they are catching up to Trevor Edwards. We're talking lap 56, just past a quarter distance here. Looks like Steve Sexton is being lapped there, and he is missing a little bit of speed, but he is still in the race. Pittman there trying to close in on Shattuck. Let's ride along with Pittman once again here. Definitely looks like Pittman likes that lower line better. You can see the 37 and the 32 staying above that first white line. But Chris Pittman likes it down low. Looked like we had a slower driver. That is the 33 of Anthony staying up there by the wall. That car is in big, big trouble. He cannot keep it running straight. He really needs to come down off the track here. Hopefully he still has that fast repair, but he is in major trouble. As you can see, he's got the alignment all messed up here. Yeah, you can say that's not running straight. Edwards' advantage is completely gone now. 0.2 of a second between these cars. That is not very much. That's barely a car length. The battle for the lead is definitely heating up. Tyler Shattuck coming a little bit lower than we've seen him do before. Pittman is right there in the draft. It looks like Tyler Shattuck is right behind your leader, with Pittman in the third position. A three-way battle for the lead here, evolving right around going into lap number 62, folks. Lance Anthony has taken a fast repair and he is back out on track. Good news for Lance there. Looks like these three drivers are really matched up well, very even. Lap times are barely any different. Look at that, 24.6, 24.6, 24.6, and Tarasenko is actually a little bit quicker, and he is holding off the number 15 car of Brian Bianchi. Brian is not on the lead lap anymore. There we see Shattuck coming underneath the 32. Still not close enough to make that stick. Edwards, Shattuck, and Pittman there still duking it out here for the lead. Let's move on and see how Jason is doing. It looks like Jason is running really nice lap times. He's actually just a tad quicker than the 3 leaders ahead of him, so he's nibbling away from that deficit that he's got. Were it not that the number 15 of Bianchi is trying to get back on underneath him, can't really make that happen. Brad Ringer is in 5th position, kind of running by himself here. Pancho is in 6th, and he's got Trowbridge to deal with. Then it's Tanner Marr. Ooh, did Trowbridge hit the wall there? Let's bring that back real quick. Looked like Timothy was moving on up pretty high here. Yep, he definitely scuffed the wall. And that brings Tanner Marr a little bit closer. Tanner's running in 8th, Caitlin Dalton in 9th, and Sean Woodside in 10th. Then it's Joshua Sexton rounding up the 11th position here, with Rex Hoyle not far behind. So it looks like things are heating up. Edwards, Shattuck, and Pittman still in the same order, but still very close together, within a half a second of each other. Trowbridge has, ooh, it looks like Pancho and Dalton are headed for pit road. Lap number 70, fuel is becoming the issue here. We've heard them talk about it before the race. Tanner explained it to us, about 70 to 75 laps on a fuel window. We've had a few yellows, but it looks like Pinchot and Dalton are the first ones into the pits. Then we see Trevor Edwards, the leader. Pittman coming into the pit as well, out of third position. Tyler Shattuck picks up the lead. There you have him. I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be his turn right around now. There you have him coming down the pits. Jason Tarasenko inherits the lead. Brad Ringer following in Shattuck. Sexton is also coming in. Pinchot is back on his way out. There is Dalton going back out. Fairly long pit road here. Jason Tarasenko coming back in, or not back in, that's his first pit stop. I apologize. He is coming in for fuel and tires as well. Some of these pit stops are fairly lengthy. Looks like Shattuck has taken all 4 tires. Not sure what's going on here, but he's losing a lot of time. Those tires and fuel should have been done by now. Oh, this is not good. Meanwhile, Trowbridge is in the lead and ahead of Woodside. And Shattuck is still in the pits. Tarasenko already going out. And Tyler must have some sort of problem because he is stuck on pit road waiting for maybe more repairs or whatnot. I have no idea. I can't tell what is going on, but it looks like his night is not going the way he would hope to. There he goes. There, finally on his way. That was a very, very lengthy pit stop, and it drops him off to 18th position. That would tell me he's had some sort of hardware issue at home. Timothy Trowbridge has picked up the lead. He pitted last on lap 23, so he's got a little ways to go, but he's probably not going to make it to the competition caution. Woodside pitted on lap 13, so he has about 10 more laps to go. Rex Hoyle in third position pitted on lap 29, so he might actually be the only driver that makes it to that lap 100 for the competition caution. Vogel is not going to make that. Justin Carey not going to make that. Let's see. Tanner Marr has dropped down to 14th position. Jason Tarasenko running the fastest lap time of the race, 23.654. Trevor Edwards is behind Steve Sexton. Steve did not pit recently. Steve Sexton pitted last on lap 28, so he might actually make it to the competition caution. Trevor Edwards in 9th position. Trowbridge hanging on to that lead, but only just. Woodside is giving him some pressure here. Coming down to the bottom. Ooh, and it looks like he can make that work. Tarasenko goes underneath. And it was Woodside that got thrown sideways a little bit. Let's bring that back for you. He gets loose off the turn, barely touches Tarasenko. Tarasenko can keep going. Woodside losing some positions. Down to third position. Tarasenko was trying to unlap himself, which he has done. He has, let me see. Tarasenko was 2 laps down. Now he is only 1 lap down, and he is one of the fastest driver on track. Trowbridge in the lead. Rex Hoyle now in second. And Woodside is still going in third. First of the drivers that have pitted on the lap 70 is Trevor Edwards. He's running in 8th position. I would expect Rex Hoyle to be able to make it to the competition caution. They're going past Scotty Stevens there. Sean Woodside has brought it down pit road. He definitely needs the fuel. See if he still can use a faster pair there. Trowbridge in the lead. Woodside has made it to his pit, and there you have it, faster pair taken. He is in good shape. Now he's going to have to wait for tires and fuel. We can bring out that pit window graphic here. Trowbridge is on 61 laps. You can see Edwards and Pittman down below there have run 70 laps on fuel. So that means that Trowbridge would be coming in before we get to lap 100. Woodside's back out. Rex Hoyle in 2nd position seems to be closing in on that 74. Half a second between these guys, letting right along here with Rex. Seems to be bringing it down quite low. But he looks really nice and stable. Not much work going into the steering wheel. That tells us that the car's doing good. 3rd place currently is Justin Carey. He is behind Tanner Marr and Joshua Sexton. No, that is not Joshua Sexton. That is the 051. Looks like we have 2 51s. That is Caitlin Dalton, and he's actually being scored as 54. As the paint job shows 51. That was throwing me off a little bit. Ooh, Woodside is back down on pit road. What? Or is he still here? That can't be true. What has happened? Yeah, he's come back on pit road for some reason. A little bit unclear why he would do that. Lap number 90, it looks like Trowbridge is holding off Rex Hoyle by taking a little bit more defensive line at this point. Forcing Rex Hoyle to take the outside. Ooh, we have a yellow. Looks like Caitlin Dalton is involved in an incident. Let's see what happens. Ooh, 42. The 42 of Justin Carey touches him on that quarter panel and turns him around. Let's bring that back for you one more time. That is not for position. And that brings out the caution on lap 92. It might actually be possible that they would have this serve as the competition caution, but I'm not sure what they have agreed on. Trowbridge, Hoyle, Kerry all in pit road. They needed their fuel. Vogel, if this is the competition caution, they are doing the right thing, but I'm not sure if it will be. Sexton, Steve Sexton coming in. Shattuck back on pit road. He has gotten some damage on that right front there. And let's see what happened to him. Caution's already happened. Ooh. That is a driver's error, folks. He is not aware of the cars in front of him slowing down for the pace speed, and he runs into the back of another driver there. That is very unfortunate. I'm not really sure if I saw who that other driver was. That may have actually been Lance Anthony, but I'm not really 100% sure. It looks like Lance is getting a lucky dog. Well, maybe not. He's just getting back in his position. All right, we have Tyler Johnson on pit road. We have Scotty Stevens on pit road. Brian Bianchi is on pit road, and Shattuck, as we already know. And it looks like he may have taken that tow, and that's why it's taken so long. Well, Shattuck started the night better than he is continuing. He started on pole position on his first outing here with the Crooked Line Racing Series on Monday night on this special event here, and unfortunately his luck has turned a little bit. Now he is in 19th position waiting for his car to be repaired. He is 5 laps down from the leader, so he's got himself a way to go. Justin Carey coming on pit road here, running 4th, involved in the incident there with Dalton. And your new leader is Rex Hoyle. Last pitted on lap 92, so he is good to go for quite some time. And again, folks, I'm not sure if this is going to count as the competition caution. It might, but it depends a little bit on what they have agreed on. Getting close to that halfway mark. Quite a large group of drivers between the pace car and the leader. There they go around. That means we're getting ready to line them back up. Trowbridge on the outside there.
Hang on, we're not going green. Not going green.
Oh, it looks like we're holding off on the green flag here. Trying to get sorted out who's where and what's what. Oh, it looks like Tyler had another incident coming off of pit road. Well, not really an incident. He just stopped the car and brought it back to pit road with a tow. And that kind of tells you that he's got some damage and he's not happy. Oh, he's left the race. That is very unfortunate for Tyler Shattuck. He has left the race. Started really nice with a pole position, had raced for the lead there for quite some time, and unfortunately his luck turned around a little bit, and it looked like his car was just not running right anymore. Rex Hoyle and Timothy Trowbridge on the front row there, then it's Vogel and Kerry on the second row. And it's Pittman and Edwards on the third. We have Tarasenko and Pancho on the fourth row. As we are getting lined up here, it looks like the 42 is unsure where to be. This might actually be a single file restart, although you wouldn't look at it that way. But Hoyle is in the lead here, and it looks like Trowbridge is coming around the outside and steals it away right away. Going on to the backstretch, Trowbridge has a good jump on Hoyle. And Vogel is in third position, dropping off quite a bit there. 15 of Bianchi is a lap down. Trowbridge and Hoyle in the front there. And again, you can see the difference in driving style here. Hoyle likes to keep it lower by that yellow line. Dalton coming back down pit road. What is going on with Dalton? Did anything happen to him? It does look like it. Coming off the backstretch, going into turn number 3. He stays up high. Ooh. Not really sure what happened to him, but it looked like he was just slowing down to be able to make his way in pit road. That is really weird. Dalton on pit road. Trowbridge. Well, as we are going into lap 101, that tells me that the last yellow that we had does count as the competition caution. Trowbridge and Hoyle in the lead. Vogel in third. It looks like Vogel is catching back up. Carey and there we have the 15 in between there. Carey is in fourth. In that 42, then it's Trevor Edwards. Tanner Marr is in between there. Tanner is in 12th position. He is dealing with Joshua Sexton, who is even further down, 2 laps down in 15th position. And Dalton is leaving pit road, but obviously he has got a long ways to catch up. Trowbridge and Hoyle. And it definitely looks like Trevor Vogel is doing his best to close in on these guys. He is running pretty good lap times, equal to the guys in front of him, 24.1, all 3 of them, as you can see. And then it's Carey with a 24.4. So these guys are, at this point, the quickest on the track, which kind of makes sense because they have the newest tires. And, ooh, Vogel almost losing it here. Let's show you that again. Coming off turn 4. Ooh, that loose, that backhand just swings around almost. Beautiful save for the number 13 driver. And that definitely tells you, folks, that driving around on tracks like this looks a heck of a lot easier from where we're sitting than it really is. This is not at all easy. Speeds are high for these cars, grip is limited, and you have to be on your game to catch a car like that. We see Joshua Sexton coming down pit road, folks, coming off of 15th position. Dalton is running again. He is in 18th position. He is 4 laps down. Trowbridge and Hoyle still going at it. Looks like the distance between these guys is staying somewhat similar. Vogel is having a little bit more trouble keeping up. Edwards and Carey going at it for 4th position here. Trevor Edwards in the 32, Justin Carey right behind him. Then we have a back marker, and then we have Pittman also trying to close in on that fight. The 45 is Sean Woodside. Sean is in 16th position, and he is 4 laps down from the leaders. Distances ahead of these guys are starting to stretch out. Rex Hoyle is 0.3 of a second behind Trowbridge. That stays the same, but Vogel, we have another one. Let's go and find out what has happened. It looked like Bruno Pencho is involved in an issue here. He is wiggling quite badly, pretty loose. Let's see, that was probably not the reason for the yellow. Tanner Marr was in some sort of incident. Ooh, loses the back end. Can't save it, turns it around. Doesn't hit anything. Ooh, he gets away with that. Let's see again what happened to Bruno Pinchot. Ooh, he just gets a major wiggle coming off of turn 2. And he wants to bring it down to pit road and has a lot of trouble bringing that car to a standstill. And it looks like he has taken the toe to pit road. And Pencho has left the race. The handling of the car was obviously not very good anymore. Trowbridge is out there staying on the track. It looked to me like he was trying to mislead everybody into going in. And then he didn't. Yes, indeed. He acts like he's going in, and then he doesn't. Rex Hoyle follows his example. Trevor Vogel stays out as well. Then it's Edwards going in for his second stop. Pittman is in. Ringer is in. Tarasenko, Carey, and Tyler Johnson already on his way out. He has finally used that fast repair, and he is looking pretty good. And that is a smart move from Tyler Johnson, who is now running in the 5th position. Tanner Marr is running along and brings it in. Yep, he is going in for service. Trowbridge and Hoyle misled everybody and then decided to come in after all. That puts Trevor Vogel in the lead. And as you can tell, folks, it's not just about running fast in circles and saving the car when it gets loose. It's also about strategy and knowing when to take your tires and when not. And it looked like some of the drivers made a decision and then came back on their decision going into the pits after all. Trevor Vogel is the only one in the lead group here at the head of the pack and has decided to stay out. He last pitted on lap number 92. We can bring up that fuel stint graphic here. Vogel has got 24 laps on his current fuel stint, and Johnson has got 21 laps on his fuel stint. That doesn't sound right. Nope, Johnson has pitted on lap 114. He is beginning a new stint. So Vogel is going for track position over tires and fuel at this point. It looks like we're trying to get sorted out what to do here. It looks to me like the lap drivers are sent to the back. You can see Tarasenko and Pittman passing the number 15 of Brian Bianchi. Justin Carey and Trevor Edwards are back out on track. Sean Woodside is coming back out as well, and it looks like we have Trevor Vogel staying in the lead. Tyler Johnson is now in second position. Remember the beginning of the race, how bad his situation looked with a damaged car, running in the final position, not being able to keep up with the speed of the pack, and there he is back in second position. Looks like Trevor is opting for the top side, and we are starting to line them up here. It looks like Johnson on the inside, then it's Pittman and Tarasenko behind him, and Trowbridge, Ringer on the third row, Carey and Hoyle on the fourth. Going into lap number 119, we will be getting the green flag. There we go. Trevor has a great jump on the field here. Takes them by surprise. Pulls away half a second here on the... Ooh, little bit of door banging going on there. Johnson was running into, I believe, Pittman. It is Tarasenko that gets underneath all of them and grabs second position in front of Johnson. There we have Brad Ringer on the bottom. He is going for third position there. It looks like Tyler Johnson has to let Pittman underneath him as well. He is dropping off to fifth position with Trowbridge also coming underneath him. Ooh, it looks like Tyler Johnson's having a bad restart here. He looked like he was in a pretty strong position, but he's having trouble with the start at this point. Tarasenko has picked up the lead from Trevor Vogel. That could be the difference between the tires they have, obviously, and Pittman also coming underneath the 13 car. And it looks like Brad Ringer is going to do the exact same thing. He is going to pick up the third position from Trevor Vogel here on turn 3 and 4. Vogel having way less rubber underneath him than the guys in front of him. So that explains the fact that he's dropping off a little bit. That is not the case, however, for Tyler Johnson, who also pitted on lap 114, but he is still not feeling too happy there. He's got Trevor Edwards now past... Whoops. Something's happening here. Trevor Edwards, where'd you go? There he is. It looked like Edwards was going to come underneath him, but couldn't hold that position. There he comes underneath him again. Ooh, that is a big difference there. Trevor Edwards takes that fourth position, folks, from Trevor Vogel. Trevor and Trevor, just to make things easy for the commentator. Pittman has meanwhile taken Tarasenko. Let's see if we can find that pass. There it is on the main straightaway going into the next lap there. He makes it look pretty easy. Then it's got Tarasenko's got the momentum on the high side, but Pittman has enough on the bottom there into 3 and 4 to take that lead away from him. And it looks like he is actually pulling away a little bit here. Tarasenko, Brad Ringer, and Trevor Edwards following. Then it is Trevor Vogel. He has got the rest of the field pretty much walking over him at this point. Woodside is passing him. He is not fighting for position. Then it's Tyler Johnson behind the number 13 and Trowbridge. behind there. Tanner Marr, I'm sorry. Stumble over his name. Tanner Marr is looking to stay with these guys, trying to unlap himself. And he's diving underneath Johnson. Ooh, Trowbridge almost losing it. My goodness, what a save. Look at the purple car, a purple and black car there, losing it off of turn 4. Beautiful save. Almost like they're racing on dirt here, folks. Pittman's got the lead. Tarasenko under pressure from Brad Ringer and Trevor Edwards in 3rd and 4th. Trevor Vogel is trying to hold on to that 5th position. He's got Tanner Marr ahead of him now, but that's not for position. Scotty Stevens is... Oops, I apologize. I was still on delay. Scotty Stevens is passing them all right now. Passing Johnson, passing Vogel. Scotty is running very, very strong here. A little bit of a wiggle coming off the turn. That allows the other guys to get back underneath him. Ooh, Scotty does have a connection issue that's throwing us in and out of there. Let's hold it on Vogel there for a minute. But Scotty Stevens running very, very strong there up into the 5th position. Tyler Johnson and Trowbridge going at it behind him. Trowbridge underneath. Johnson staying in 7th position. Pittman still has about a half a second lead on Jason Tarasenko. Then it's Edwards and Ringer going at it for 3rd. Edwards nosing it ahead. Looks like he picks up 3rd position from Brad Ringer. Then it's Scotty Stevens in 5th at about 2.6 seconds, and he has a connection issue. Tarasenko, Edwards, and Ringer, the fight for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th position. At a 32, diving underneath the 21 at this point here. Can he make that stick? The 21 washes up a little bit high, but he's got good momentum coming onto the main straightaway. Trevor Edwards holds on to the inside line. And it looks like he's actually got it. Trevor Edwards picks up 2nd position from Jason Tarasenko. Brad Ringer also coming underneath the 21. Still side by side, coming on to the main straightaway. Going into lap number 135. He still is not past him. Tarasenko holds on to 3rd, but only just. Edwards seems to be walking away a little bit. Rex Hoyle and Tyler Johnson going at it there for 8th and 9th position. Rex Hoyle moving up strongly. Ooh, the number 5 loses it. Saw that happening there. A little bit of a wiggle mid-turn. Watch the number 5. He gets a little bit loose. He overcorrects it and bounces off the wall. We are not going yellow, and he saves it, keeps it on the track. Pittman still out front, 6/10 of a second ahead. Trevor Edwards is trying to gain on him, but speeds are fairly similar at this point. Jason Tarasenko holds on to 3rd position. Ringer has dropped off just a little bit. Scotty Stevens in 5th position. He is looking very strong. Trowbridge in 6th with Vogel and Hoyle right behind him. There comes Hoyle in that number 12 car. He is running very, very strong at this point. Tyler Johnson in 9th position has dropped off a little bit. He gets... Ooh, it looked like the 51 there. The other 51, the Caitlin Dalton, had a little bit of an issue there. Trevor Edwards is, in fact, gaining a little bit on Pittman, but it is very slowly. He is gaining just a little bit. Only a 1/10 of a second between these guys. Tarasenko holds on to 3rd. Brad Ringer in 4th. Stevens 2.8 seconds behind him. Hoyle is working on Vogel, that is for 7th and 8th position. Looks to me like Rex Hoyle has got a really, really good car. Getting underneath the 13. And once again, that higher side just keeps that momentum in that car. Rex is not quite there yet. Ooh, Trevor Edwards, Jason Tarasenko. Was that just a blink? That was just a blink. Edwards is definitely gaining. Battle for the lead at this point, the closest battle on track. Chris Pittman in the 1st spot, and Trevor is chasing him down. Lap times are pretty much equal now as they are coming back together. 20 seconds, 0.6. Jason Tarasenko is also gaining on these guys. The difference is minimal. Rex Hoyle seems to finally have made it past Trevor Vogel. He is now coming up on the 51 of Joshua Sexton. That is not for position. Joshua is in 17th position. He is 5 laps down from the leader. And it looks like the top 3 are stretching out a little bit again. Very, very equal between these guys. Trevor Edwards was 2/10 of a second slower on the last lap. 1/10 of a second slower than Pittman on this lap. Going into lap 149 as they come around out of turn 3 and 4. There's Tyler Johnson now getting lapped. It looks like he did pick up some more damage again. The right front is a little bit damaged there. He is in trouble. Came back very strong from a a little bit tough start of the race. We've lost 3 drivers So far, that is Bruno Pierre Pinchot, Tyler Shattuck, pole sitter, and Ryan Woolbright. And there's your leader, Chris Pittman. Half a second now on Trevor Edwards, with Tarasenko getting towards Edwards. Not so much because Tarasenko is so much quicker, but because Edwards is dropping off just a tad. Little bit of a wiggle there for Tarasenko. Working their way around traffic. That was Lance Anthony in 14th position there that they are getting around. Lance is still running here in 14th with 4 laps deficit on the leaders. Last car on the lead lap is Justin Carey in the number 42, 9th position. Caitlin Dalton hanging on, 16th position. Let's go and find Tanner Moore. Tanner is in the 10th position. 1 lap down. He is the first of the lapped drivers. Trevor Vogel brings it down pit road, as does Joshua Sexton, lap number 156. Let's take a look at that stint. Well, we can't see Vogel in there. Can't scroll this page, unfortunately. I believe this is the first stop since lap 92 for Trevor. Sexton on pit road. Pittman is still out there. Steve Sexton, the dad, is still running as well. He is in 12th position. He's going to pick up 11th here because Vogel is in the pits. And Steve is only a lap down. That's the leader behind him. Trevor Vogel is coming back out again. Looks like Edwards has shook off Tarasenko for a little bit, and he's back working his way towards Pittman. Brad Ringer is in 4th. He is 2.1 seconds down from Tarasenko. Then it's more than 4 seconds to Scotty Stevens. Another 1.5 seconds to Timothy Trowbridge. Tyler Johnson working on Steve Sexton. That is 4 position. Well, it looks like he is dropping off a little bit again. I'm sorry, it was the other way around. Steve Sexton going around Tyler Johnson. I apologize. There's Tanner Moore. He's in 9th position. Brad Ringer comes down pit road. And the leaders are coming up on the 151 of Steve. Steve Sexton is going to go down a second lap. Dalton coming down pit road. Looks like Pittman is passing the 151. Bianchi on the pit road. It looks like Vogel is having an issue. Let's find out what's going on with him. Yep, he's been off. Coming off of turn 4, brushes the wall, loses the car onto the grass. And can't help himself from going on the pit road. That's going to cost him a speeding penalty too. That's pretty costly. Very unfortunate there for Vogel. Bianchi on pit road. Pittman still out there. These guys are working their way around traffic right now. Scotty Stevens and Trowbridge, that is for position 4th and 5th. Scotty on the high side, staying ahead of Timothy. Tyler Johnson trying hard to stay out of the way. Good sportsmanship among these drivers, folks. Steve Sexton bringing it on pit road. Trowbridge still working on Stevens. Ooh, getting underneath there pretty deep. Stevens washes up a little bit higher than I think he wanted to. Side by side going into lap number 170. It looks like Trowbridge is nosing ahead, but this here in turn 1 and 2, Stevens has the upper hand again. Still side by side. Into turn 3, it looks like Timothy is taking that position from him. Well, it's not over yet. On the main straightaway, Stevens noses back ahead. Anthony on pit road. Looks like Rex Hoyle is starting to interfere in this battle as well. Kerry is in 7th. He's 5 seconds down from those guys. Stevens, Trowbridge, and Hoyle. That's Dalton, I believe, in between there. Yep. Trying to work his way around the 74 just to get his lap back. Makes it a little bit more difficult for Timothy to fight the number 2. Ah, there he comes down underneath again. he still can't get it done. Stevens comes off those turns on the higher side quite a bit better. Up at the front, folks, not much change. Pittman still about a half a second ahead of Edwards. Tarasenko has dropped off 1.6 seconds from those guys. And behind there, it is Stevens, Trowbridge, and Hoyle. All three of them fighting for position. Ooh, Dalton having a major issue there.
Yellow flag is out.
Yeah. Let's see here. We have Trevor Vogel in problem. Vogel gets loose off the turn and runs into Lance Anthony. Both of them lose it. Hard into the wall for Vogel. Let's bring that back one more time here. He is ahead. They're not fighting for position. The 13 loses the back end and runs into the 33 there. Very, very unfortunate. That brings us under yellow, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of people on pit road. Last time they pitted was lap 114, most of them. So those guys are getting close to needing fuel. And they could make it to the end if they did so right now. And there you have it, folks. Pittman, Edwards coming in, Tarasenko coming in, Stevens coming in, Trowbridge and Hoyle, Carey, Tanamar staying out. He wants his lap back. He can't come in yet anyway. His pits are closed for him. He's going to need fuel. Brad Ringer will make it. He will make it. He pitted on 162. Pretty much everybody else, well, let's see. Steve Sexton will make it. Bianchi will make it. Vogel is going to make it. Dalton will make it. Lance Anthony will make it. And Joshua Sexton will make it. So there you have it. Edwards coming back out already. And he's beating Pittman out. That tells me he may not have taken all four there. Scotty Stevens beats them all out, almost, except for Edwards, that is. He's now in second, Tanamar in third, but he still needs to pit. And that will bring Pittman back in fourth. Tanamar is on pit road. Looks like he brought himself back on the lead lap here. Car still looks good. Takes all four. He will be at the tail end of the lead lap. The 54 is still on pit road. That is Dalton, Caitlin Dalton. Lance Anthony back on pit road. Ooh, overshot the pit box. He is probably just working on that damage there. Tanamar still in 8th position, but he's on the lead lap again. That might open up some perspective. And back markers being sent around, and it looks like Trevor is staying on the bottom. Alongside him will be Scotty Stevens. Scotty had a major run here before the yellow flag. He worked his way back up. Very, very strong performance. Then it's going to be Pittman and Tarasenko, then Trowbridge and Hoyle. They'll be going into lap 182 as they take the green flag. That gives them 19 laps to go. Dalton and Anthony still on pit road as we are getting ready to go back to racing. Everybody should be good for fuel. There we go. Edwards has a good start. Good response behind him. Stevens and Pittman side by side into turn one. Then it's Timothy Trowbridge and Tarasenko side by side. Pittman picks up second position. Ooh, Scotty has a little bit of a wash up, it looks like. He is on the high side above Trowbridge, while Pittman is chasing after Edwards there in second position. Trowbridge on the bottom. Ooh, almost looks like a little bit of touching going on there. Can't really tell from the distance, but it looked like Tarasenko dropped off just a bit. Had to lift maybe. Pittman on the inside of Edwards. Edwards still has it on the line, but Pittman's getting really close. And Pittman takes the lead, going on to the backstretch there. Lap number 184. Trevor Edwards has to settle for second, and it's Scotty Stevens that closed in on him. Edwards looks a little bit loose there. Stevens in third. Vogel and Dalton have left the race. Anthony is still on pit road. Looks like Edwards is having a lot of pressure there from Scotty Stevens. Side by side here. Scotty can't get it done just yet. Tarasenko closing in. Ooh, Trowbridge is having some trouble. He dropped off. Tanner Marr in 7th position ahead of Trowbridge. Tanner is keeping up with the pace here. Really nice. Tarasenko and Stevens at it for third. And they're closing back in on Edwards. The 42 of Kerry dropping off behind Trowbridge. Tanner Marr now in 6th. Rex Hoyle in 5th. Stevens still in 4th. Tanner's trying something on the inside there. We know he's on brand new rubber. Trying to get past Rex Hoyle. Whoops. That blue car there, that's Tanner Marr, the number 4 in that festive paint job from MF Racing Designs. Rex Hoyle now coming underneath Scotty Stevens. Looks like Scotty Stevens has used up those tires a little bit maybe. Tarasenko has moved past Edwards meanwhile. He's chasing after Pittman. Tarasenko is definitely putting a lot of distance on the guys behind him. And Edwards, Hoyle, and Stevens, Marr still close together there. Ooh, Scotty Stevens washes up. Marr gains another position. Excuse me. Rex Hoyle now underneath Edwards. Still side by side for third. Looks like Rex Hoyle has got him on the line. Lap number 192. We have 9 more laps to go. Tanner Marr now trying underneath Edwards. Trying to follow Rex Hoyle. And he gets that blue car alongside. Ooh, he's getting a little loose off the turn. It leaves the momentum to Trevor Edwards. Can't quite get past there. Edwards defending there. Tanner Marr trying the high side, trying the low side. Ooh, touches Edwards. And that gets him past, but not in the best fashion, I would think. Ooh, and Edwards loses it. That is not good. He takes Trowbridge with him.
The yellow flag is
There's
out.
nothing he can do about it. Nothing he can do about it. Let's bring it back a little bit further. There you see Tanner Marr tapping Edwards. It gets Edwards off balance. He washes up into the wall. And then he can't help but come down, bumping off the wall. And the 74 is a victim of that. That is very unfortunate. Edwards still running, Trowbridge still running. It bunches them all back up again, folks. We're going to have a shootout here. Pittman is still your leader. Tarasenko is getting that distance that there was between them kind of for free here. Catching back up to Pittman and getting another shot at him. This is Pittman's race to lose right here. Rex Hoyle is in 3rd position. Tanner Marr in 4th. Scotty Stevens in 5th. We see Kerry, Edwards, Trowbridge, and Ringer coming into the pits. They are on the back end of the lead lap, so it's not going to cost them anything, and new tires may just help them. And as you can see on the left side of your screen, they're coming back out of the pits, and it really doesn't cost them any positions because as we are under yellow, the back markers will be sent to the back end. So they will just simply have another shot at it from the tail end of the lead lap. Woodside, excuse me, ooh, voice is giving up. Woodside in the pits and Tyler Johnson. Tyler is 1 lap down in 10th position. Drivers trying to keep that heat in the tires. Tarasenko, as said, he'll get another shot at Pittman here. Tanner Marr finds himself in 4th position. Not the prettiest pass on Edwards, but it gets the job done. And it looks like we'll be using our first green-white checkered here because the lights on the pace car are still on, so we won't go racing on until lap 200. Everybody should be good on fuel. Lights have been turned off. We're going to go green, white, checkered here, folks, to settle this thing. Pittman opts for the inside. Tarasenko comes alongside. On the second row, we have Hoyle and Marr. On the third row, we have Stevens and Edwards. There we go. Pittman has a good start. Tarasenko is quick to respond. Not too much advantage for Pittman there. Tanner Marr jumps into third, washes up high. Is he going to get Edwards underneath him? Nope. Can't get there. For a minute, it looked like Edwards was going to give him a love tap back. Pittman, Tarasenko. They're getting the white flag. Tanner Marr in third position. Ooh, and he loses third position to Trevor Edwards there on the final lap. Chris Pittman still in the lead. Tarasenko is not close enough to do anything. Edwards in third. Going to the line. It is Pittman, Tarasenko, Edwards, and Marr. Timothy Trowbridge in fifth. Then it's Rex Hoyle in sixth. Justin Carey in seventh. Scotty Stevens in eighth. Brad Ringer in ninth. And it looks like we have Tyler Johnson bringing it home in 10th position. Fireworks in the background, folks. Chris Pittman wins here in Iowa after 200 laps, after 202 laps actually, of some really good racing that we've seen here tonight. Tarasenko in second, Trevor Edwards in third. Let's see the celebrations here. Burn some rubber. And if you can't do it forward, you can do it backward. He looks like he's pretty happy. All right, let's go and find out if somebody is willing to talk to us. Trevor, this is Mark in the booth. Third place finish there, taking away that final podium spot from Tanner on the last lap, man. How did this go for you?
Good for about the first 180 laps or whatever. I think they gave us too many sets of tires. I didn't take one right there at the end, and then got drove through, which let me put 4 tires on. And if we had had one more lap, I think I had something for Christian.
It looked like I'm not sure if it was you and Tanner that touched there for the third position, and it got you a little bit into trouble there. Was that you?
Yeah, that was me. Gave him the bottom, and I don't know what happened, but he got the left rear, and it slid all the way through 3 and 4. Thought I had it saved, and I just like barely clipped the outside wall, which caused a big checkup, which made me run into, I think, the 74 or something like that on the bottom.
Yeah, that was a 74. That was very unfortunate, but you brought it back on that final restart there. You were very, very strong all race long. Were tires an issue for you, or did you save? Did you change because you needed to, or just to give yourself an edge there?
There were so much you have to change them. I didn't. I tried to run as many little sets of power like possible. We could have done it on 1 extra set, maybe 2, if you wanted to be generous. After that first, I think it was 125 laps, I still had 33% on the right rear. So, I mean, 4 sets is way too many.
Well, that sounds like you used that one up pretty badly at that point.
Yeah, that was 125 laps, so I had 75 for a whole fresh set. I think one of the pits would have been fine, if you ask me.
Okay, all right, I get you. All right. Well, Trevor is still a pretty good result here on on a nice holiday. It was supposed to be your week off, but you came here to race anyway, and you're bringing home a third place trophy, man. That's a night well spent, I would say.
Wild to run 202 laps and then just wish we had one more because I think we could have had something there.
Yeah, well, at some point they're going to throw that checkered flag, my friend.
Yeah.
All right, Trevor. Again, congratulations. Any shout outs you want to send out into the world?
Just McConey Setup Shop. They had a great setup tonight. They sponsor me. I build their modified setups, Glassers Collision Centers, Platinum, Speedworks, and Jason Tarasenko, one of my good buddies. We were in Discord for the first time in a while for tonight, so it was a good time to catch up with him. And congratulations, Christian, and thank you for broadcasting.
You betcha. All right, let's move on to Jason Tarasenko. Jason, it's been a while since we've seen you. You're back in good old fashioned, bringing it home in second position there.
Yeah, we had to knock the rust off pretty quick. We haven't been on in, I don't know, 4 or 6 weeks, something like that. So had to do a bunch of download of updates and things like that, but we were able to make it on time. So we're here.
Absolutely, a good performance here. It looked like you were in the beginning of the race. You had to come from quite a ways down. You started, I believe, in 11th or 12th position. Was it difficult for you to work your way forward?
Just a matter of patience, and I'm not the greatest with this fixed setup stuff. I really like a setup that drives to my style, so I struggle a little bit with this stuff. I was definitely a little bit off of Christian and Trevor when we had that long run there. They were gaining, that little bit of a quarter tenth, half a tenth a lap there. So I struggle with the fixed setup stuff, but to come back, knock the cobwebs off, and take second place, I'll take it.
Absolutely. So the setup is different from what you prefer. What is it that you prefer different on your setups?
Just with the open setup stuff, you can, kind of tweak it to the way that you like to drive. Whereas this fixed stuff, everybody's driving the same thing. So it may not match your driving style a little bit. So for me, it was just way too tight in the center and a little bit loose off. I would have, I was looking to free it up there, but we can't make adjustments on the fixed setup either. So it was just too tight for me. So if we had a little bit different setup, I don't know, it's all part of it. So fixed racing makes for close, tight racing. Everybody's on the same thing. So just got to work with it.
Absolutely. So, well, I mean, if it's not a car that's to your liking, then I would still be pretty happy with a second place for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We used a little bit of pit strategy there too to try and get up there. So we only took 2 right side tires. So that's why if Trevor definitely had another lap there, he would have had us all, I think.
All right. Well, Jason, it's good to have you back, my friend. Any shout outs you want to send into the world?
Yeah, just want to thank Sports, Dynamic Auto Sports, Midwest Power Source, Trevor. It was kind of fun to come and hang out again here. I haven't been on in quite a while, so life's just been a little too busy. So you for the broadcast, all the guys that put on this league, they do a fantastic job, and they really try hard and do an amazing job of bringing out cars and good competitive guys. And congrats to Christian too, man. He drove a hell of a race.
Thank you very much, Jason. All right, let's move on to our winner here tonight. It looked like you were pretty happy celebrating there, both forward and backwards. Chris, talk us through this, man. You started, I believe, on the second row 202 laps ago. You were up there quite significantly all race long. How did you make it work?
First start of the race, I definitely felt the car was pretty quick, but Tyler and Trevor were really quick too as well. So I kind of just tried to stay patient, stay close enough to them so I could make a move, but kind of try to save some tires because we had that long green flag run, like lap 20 to lap 75 or something like that before green flag pit stops. I saved my tires pretty good, and I came down, filled the car all the way up, got 4 tires where Trevor didn't take tires at all, which was a huge momentum gap for us because I was able to run him down, pass him, and then take the lead. And then we had another caution. So that knocked me back to 4th, and I had almost.
I'm not sure if you can hear me, Chris, but I lost you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, back to what I was saying was we had, I don't know, we got that long green flag run at the start, and the car was pretty good, but it definitely was slowing down as the race went on. But we had those green flag pit stops, and I got full gas, fresh tires, and everything, and got back up to technically what was the lead, but there was obviously the guys who were able to stay out longer, and we struggled a little bit on that little short run. And after that, we pretty much knew. I knew I had 2 sets of tires left, so I knew with 100 to go, I could take one now and then one at 50. And then we had another green flag run. I got out front, and I was actually starting to pull away a little bit over Trevor. And then he kind of caught up to us a little bit, and then he started gapping him. And I was actually 2 laps after that caution came out, I was actually planning to come to pit road because I was about to run out of gas. And we got that caution, and I was able to get 4 fresh tires, and I was able to get past Trevor, and then it was pretty much just hold on with Jason coming behind.
So it looked like that at that point that yellow flag fell at the exact right moment for you.
Oh yeah, I saw him wrecking coming off of 4, and I was like, praise Jesus, they're wrecking. Thank God I was not going to have to try a green flag pit stop.
That worked out for you pretty well, Chris. It was a lot of fun to watch. It looked like both Trevor and Jason were gaining on you on that long stint, but only just a little bit at the time. I mean, it wasn't like it was pretty equal, but they were like gaining maybe a tenth or so per lap. And then once Trevor got to you, you kind of pulled away again. Were you trying to save tires at that point?
I was saving just a little bit, but once he got there, everybody was safe and racing. When somebody catches you, you go just a little bit harder because you don't want to get past for the lead, especially with 50 to go. I knew if I could stay out front, I could probably hold on and win. And I stayed out front, and we got that caution. He took 2 on pit road instead of 4 and was able to get back out in front of me. But I knew before we'd get back around him. And once we got back around him, we kind of walked away a little bit. And then there was like 3 or 4 laps to go, and a caution came out. And I was like, oh my goodness, that used to happen to me all the time in real racing. And man, when that caution came out, I got a little nervous, called my grandpa, told him what the strategy was for the start, and then I ended up doing everything and somehow walked away with the win.
Yeah, it always feels a little bit like a nerve. It gets a little nerve wracking when you're in the lead with a good solid lead, and then a yellow comes out. They all get another shot at you, don't they?
Oh yeah, I was definitely really nervous about Jason on that restart, and then I realized Trevor got new tires, and if he'd have had one more lap, he'd have blown right past us because he was definitely coming. So it was kind of worked out for us in a way. Also with that restart, with Trevor restarting 7th, because he was definitely coming on fresh rubber a lot quicker than we were going.
Absolutely. He was running very strong there at the end as well. Well, Chris, congratulations once again, man. A great win for you here tonight. Unfortunately, it doesn't pay any points, but we hope you can start doing the same thing in the series as well. And again, man, great job here tonight. Any shout outs you want to send into the world?
Yeah, just like I told you last time we talked, me, myself, and I, of course, because I don't have any sponsors. My grandparents for watching the race. My dad for always giving me tips with the race car because he was my crew chief in real life. My girlfriend, she supports me even though it's a simulation. She still watches all my races, and that's about it.
Can I ask you, Chris, what are you racing in real life?
Well, I don't race anymore, sadly, due to some family issues, but I raced quarter midgets with Carson Hosenbar, and I was about to go to late models, and some family stuff happened. Weren't able to keep going, so maybe one day we'll get back out there.
All right. Well, that hopefully that'll work out for you someday, man. And until then, we hope you enjoy the simulations just as much. We sure do. So, again, congratulations and thanks very much, man.
One more thing, Mark. Thanks for always broadcasting. It's fun to be able to have my friends and family watch us race with you broadcasting.
Absolutely, we love to do it, man. Hope they bring their friends too.
Yes, sir.
All right, folks. We have Tanner Marr here with us, who organized this race here for tonight. Tanner, you had a pretty good shot there at the podium, but it looked like Trevor just got the best of you there on the final lap. What happened for you?
Well, I mean, it was a good race, and first of all, I got trapped a lap down with fuel strategy, and then I guess on that last restart, Trevor was mad and just kind of jacked my tires off the ground. The restart killed me on the momentum, but that's all right. We'll just throw it in the memory bank. He said that I drove through him. I had 4 of the people say I didn't. We didn't touch, no contact. I think that's just net code on iRace's part. but that's okay. I'll take a 4th place finish after being trapped all race. It was a fun race. I'm glad to be a part of it. Thank you to Five Kings Motorsports for sponsoring it, MF Racing Designs for me, and of course, McConey Setup Shop for supplying the setup tonight.
All right. Well, Tanner, I thought it was a great event. We saw some pretty good racing here tonight. I think everybody matched up really well. The setup worked for most people, I think, pretty good. And we saw some pretty close racing throughout the field, not just only at the lead and the top two or three spots, but mid pack. We followed some battles right around to 8th and 9th position with you and I believe Rex Hoyle and Timothy. You were running pretty strong together there in a group of 3 or 4. So hats off to all of you guys. I think it was a great event, and we'll hope to see some more of that during the rest of the regular season on the Monday nights.
Right on. Maybe we can take this momentum and carry it forward to next Monday night.
All right, I sure hope so, Tanner. We'll see you then. And until then, folks. Let's see. We still have the final standings there on your screen. And let me see. It looked like we lost the final 3 drivers, if I see that correctly. And, well, you can find your favorite driver in that list up there. Folks, it looks like we had 9 drivers on the lead lap, which kind of is a testament to how close the racing is in this series. And like I said, I think everybody did a great job here tonight. The back markers trying to move out of the way and give the race leaders room to race. I think that that is a testament to everybody in this series. Christian Pittman brings it home in first position. Jason Tarasenko brings that Canadian flag up top there as well. Trevor Edwards, your 3rd place finisher. We heard from all of them. And again, folks, this will do it for tonight. We'll be back in our regular season starting next Monday with the, I'm not really sure where we're going. And then Tuesday, it's the modifieds. Until then, folks, I hope you all stay healthy and take care of one another.